welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new makeup and chats video. In these videos, you guys give me the topic that you want me to speak on and then we sit down with a cup of tea or a glass of water, we do our makeup and we have an open and honest chat. In this video, we are delving into the dark world and exposing, that's dramatic, what happens beneath the surface of mum bloggers. Now, I'm gonna be the first to put my hand up and say I do love a good mum blogger. Like, I follow so many mum bloggers on Instagram and I love them. It's just nice as a new mum to feel like you're not alone and that you can see other people kind of going through the same things as you, or like their baby's not sleeping through the night, or their baby's teething and your baby's teething, and it's like, it's so nice to know I'm not the only one. But on the flip side, from what you guys have told me on my Instagram, it seems as though these big mum bloggers, you know, the ones that kind of make their lives appear perfect, it can make us as regular mothers feel really inferior and like we're not good enough. Before we get into it, a quick shout out to our sponsors, Kenzie. This is my little IPL device and this is what I've been using to greatly reduce the amount of leg hair that I have. Now, I just want to make it abundantly clear that as women, we do not have to remove any of our body hair if we don't want to. Body hair is completely normal and natural and beautiful, and if you want to keep it, you keep it and you rock it. If you want to remove it, then remove it and rock it. There are no rules and you do not have to feel ashamed of body hair. In fact, me at the start of lockdown, I didn't shave my legs for a good few months and my legs, guys, they get very hairy. Like, I'm a hairy person. So when Kenzie got in contact with me, I was like, is this for me? Is this not for me? Like, do I even want to remove my leg hair? And after thinking about it for a while, I was like, you know what? Yes, I do. I hate shaving with a passion because I always end up with such an itchy rash on my legs. I don't wax because it hurts. I used to have an epilator, but it broke. I can't go and get my legs professionally IPL'd or lasered because everything is shut because lockdown. And we are coming into the warmer months here in Ireland, and I really do want to wear short dresses and have my legs out and not have them quite as hairy as they are naturally. So what the Kenzie is it's a handheld IPL device that you can use from the privacy and comfort of your own home to greatly reduce, if not remove, your body hair. So IPL stands for intense pulsed light, and the way it works is it targets the melanin in your hair follicle. So what you need to do first is you shave your legs, so you get rid of like the long leg hairs, then you get your Kenzie IPL device, you press it against the skin, flat, flush with the skin, you press it once, it shoots a burst of pulsed light into the hair follicle, effectively destroying that hair follicle, which means that either your hair won't grow back as much or it won't grow back at all. You can use the Kenzie IPL device on your underarms, your legs, your arms, chin, upper lip. Just be really careful with your eyes. Make sure you do not shine this in your eyes. Common sense. You can also press this button here to either increase or lower the IPL intensity to suit you. It also has a glide mode, so you can press and hold the pulse button for 5 seconds to automate the flashing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say I'm completely hair-free like silken tofu, because I'm not. However, I would say after about the 3rd or 4th week, I noticed that my leg hairs weren't growing back as much or as thick. And then the leg hairs that were growing back, I could literally just lift them out of the hair follicle. Like, I didn't need to pluck them out. I could literally lift them out with my fingernails. So I've definitely noticed that my leg hair speed has slowed down dramatically. So if you guys are like me and you hate shaving, you hate the ingrown hairs, you hate the nicks from the razor, you hate the itchy rash that you get, you don't like epilation because it's uncomfortable, you hate waxing, same reason, or if you're on lockdown and you can't get to your salon to have your professional IPL or laser done, definitely do check Kenzie out. I will put the link to the device I have in the description box down below, and I also do have a discount code for you guys if you want to use it. So the code LANGE50 will get you guys $50 off your own Kenzie handset. Also, an important thing for you guys to know is that the Kenzie handset has a 12-month warranty and a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if you give it a go, you think it's not for you, you can get your money back. So I will link it in the description box down below. Woo. I put up on my Instagram stories last week, I think it was, I asked my followers how mum bloggers made them feel. Oh wow, what have I done? This is, whoa! So as you can see by just some of these answers, I haven't included all of them because it will take me way too long to go and blur everyone's names out. But as you can see, a lot of people felt inferior, or like they weren't doing enough for their kids, or they felt like these mum bloggers made their lives look so easy and so perfect when we all know that life's not really like that. So I just thought these answers were really interesting, and that's kind of what made me want to do this video. There's a few mum bloggers that I absolutely love. These are the kind of mum bloggers that show the real life of what having like babies and children and trying to work and maintain a household is actually like. They're not the mum blogger, you know, the one where it's like, oh, my child was walking at 2 weeks old and they slept through the night from 3 days old. And as a new mum myself and being on lockdown since my baby was 5 months old, it can feel so isolating. So it can be really nice to go online and feel like you have, like a kind of circle of other mums that you can speak to or DM or relate to. I don't think it's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a really, really positive thing as well, because a lot of mum bloggers have, children with special needs. So they might have a disability or differing abilities. I follow one mum whose child has autism, and she posts, really inspirational and amazing stuff to her Instagram, and she's raising awareness for autism, and that all in all is such a positive and something we really need in the online space. So there are a lot of mum bloggers who like to come across as pure and clean and pristine and perfect. But during my research for this video, I discovered that all is not as it seems. And underneath the surface of the blonde bob mum blogger, there is a dark undercurrent flowing underneath the mum blogosphere. If you are one of these mothers who feels inferior, or like you're not doing enough for your kids, or you're just not as good a mother as these Instagram mothers when you look at their accounts, I want you to know that all is not as it seems. In regards to everything on social media and YouTube and Instagram, you see one thing on the surface, then what really happens behind the scenes is a whole other ball game. Now, I've got some interesting tales for you guys regarding some very prominent and famous mum bloggers. So first up is the dark tale of mummy blogger Katie Sorensen, who managed to grow her profile from 6K followers to 80,000 followers in the space of like a week. However, last time I checked, she has now deleted her account. Now, what I'm about to tell you is unproven. This is all alleged, and I don't know what really happened here, but I remember seeing her stories at the time and I was honestly freaked out. So Katie went onto her Instagram stories and she told in great vivid detail how her children almost got kidnapped. She was in the car park of some American grocery store, and these two people were following her and chatting about her child, and when she got back to her car, they tried to kidnap her child, which as a mother rings like serious alarm bells in your head. And I don't know if that freaks you guys out, even just hearing that, but it freaks me out. And I followed her and I was like, good on her for raising awareness of this. I'm going to be so much more careful. Then it turned out that she had actually faked the attempted kidnap of her children in order to grow on social media. Like, the mind boggles. Now, Katie may have genuinely believed that her children were about to be kidnapped. Like, who knows? I know that she did in fact report it to the police, which leads me to believe that she did think her children were in danger, because you don't just go to the effort of reporting something to the police if you don't think it's true, surely. However, the police then released an update saying that there were inconsistencies between her report to them and the story on Instagram. Now, obviously, there can always be inconsistencies because, as time goes on, you forget certain things that happened, and then if you're in a state of shock, your mind can make up certain things that happened. However, Petaluma Police Chief Ken Savano said, based upon the evidence gathered to date, PPD launched an investigation into whether this incident was potentially falsely reported. That investigation is active and ongoing. Additionally, we will also seek prosecution to the fullest extent of the law if at any time during our investigation we find evidence of a person knowingly and intentionally making a false report of a crime. It is crazy when you think about the efforts that some people go to in order to gain a following on social media, especially when it's a mum with children involved. Like, it honestly just boggles my mind. So if that story hasn't already sparked you guys' interest into the dark world of mum blogging, this next one might. The tale of Clemmie Hooper. So if you guys haven't heard of Clemmie Hooper or about the drama that happened with Clemmie Hooper, Clemmie was a mum blogger, and she had over 700,000 Instagram followers at the time, which is a massive influence. Also worth noting, Clemmie has now also deleted her account. So under the alias Alice in Wonderlust, Clemmie was going on to these gossip sites and bitching about herself, her own husband, and her own friends in real life. Now, whatever your opinion is of people that frequent gossip sites, you've got to give them credit where credit's due. They are intelligent for the most part. The detective work that goes on some of these sites, like, they should be in the police force, put it that way. Some of the users started getting suspicious that Alice in Wonderlust's geotags matched up with Clemmie Hooper. So they started noticing that when Clemmie Hooper was on holiday, Alice in Wonderlust was also holidaying in the same destination. They ended up putting two and two together, and they realized that Clemmie Hooper was in fact this troll account who was bitching about herself and her own family and her friends. Now, Clemmie says the reason she did it was because she stumbled across her own gossip site where people were gossiping about her and her family, and she wanted to change their minds on her, so she created a fake account in order to try and sway the opinions of the people on that site. However, she got sucked in, and before she knew it, she was not only gossiping about herself, but she was also gossiping about her friends. She says, "When users started to suspect it was me, I made the mistake of commenting about others. I regret it all and I'm deeply sorry." One friend that she particularly seemed to have it in for was Candace Braithwaite, and I love Candace. I follow Candace myself. I think she's epic. Now, admittedly, Candace is a mum blogger. However, she's very honest about what mum life is actually like, and she's an author in her own right. Now, I don't know why, but it seemed that Clemmie really had it in for Candace online. She would write things like Candace weaponizes race and that she was aggressive. That's a horrible thing to write about someone that's supposed to be your friend, not only online but also in real life. Now, when I was doing the research for this video, there were plenty of other stories like this that were popping up, but I don't have time to include them all in this video. But I just wanted to include these ones to show you that if you are a mum who feels inferior or like your life's not good enough, or you compare your life to these mum bloggers who seem to have it all together and that they have this perfect life while you're over here struggling with real life, just let those two stories sink in. All is not as it seems on social media. Where am I up to with my eyes? I got way too into that storytelling. I'm just gonna go in with the white from my own palette. This is the Stephanie Lange Essentials palette. I'll link it down below for you guys. I'm just trying to make my eyes look bigger because my son has decided he actually doesn't sleep at night anymore, so that's great. I'm running off like 4 hours sleep. So I'm hoping that by putting white eyeshadow on, it might make my eyes look a bit bigger and make me look a bit more awake. Another bone to pick that I have with like a lot of mum bloggers, and even some of my mum blogging friends do this, and I don't want to come across as totally judgmental here because like I said, everybody's platform is their own and they can do what they want with it. They can use it how they want. However, when children are involved, that's kind of where I get a little bit like, only because I've done so much research on this, and I'm still debating myself on whether I even want to have my son on my Instagram at all. Like, I just don't know. I keep bloody changing my mind. One day I'm like, it's fine, Stephanie, like calm down, you're too paranoid. And then I'll put up a picture of him and then like the next day I'll delete it because I'm just like, no. I want to know what you guys' opinion is on putting children online. And when I say children, I mean people under the age of 13. Do you think it's acceptable? Do you think it's dangerous? Do you think it infringes on their privacy rights? I'm kind of on the fence with all this. Where I kind of draw the line, and this is what I mean when I say some of my mum blogging friends actually do this, they will literally put pictures of their children online, of their children in the bath, like naked. And every time I see it, I'm like, Stephanie, hold your tongue, don't say anything. Like, I never want to be that preachy person that like slides into someone's DMs and is like, do you know you shouldn't do this, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't want to be that person because I hate when I get DMs like that. But at the same time, I'm just sitting there looking and cringing like, do you know how many creeps there are online that could literally be looking at this picture right now and saving it to their phone? Another tale for you guys, kind of on this same subject. There's a couple that I follow on Instagram and I really like them. Like, they are absolutely hilarious. They put up pictures of their daughter on their Instagram, and then they found out that this random stranger married couple had stolen the pictures of their daughter, uploaded it to their own Facebook account, and tried to pass off the pictures of this famous Instagram daughter as their own child, if this is making sense. Like, they literally put up on Facebook that they had hidden the pregnancy and that this was their daughter and she was 15 months old, and all their friends were commenting, oh my god, she's so cute, like, congratulations, like, wow, why did you hide the pregnancy? And they made up some weird reasons why they hid the pregnancy. And when the people that I follow figured that out and put it up on their Instagram stories, I was like, oh my god, like, that is so freaky. Like, that's the kind of stuff that makes me not want to have my children online at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just never know who is viewing your content. And like, I feel like some of these mum bloggers, they totally overshare. And when I say overshare, I mean like they will literally have pictures of their child with like shit up their back. And they're posting images like that to come across as relatable to mums like me and you. And like, in a way it is relatable because I'm like, yeah, my kid's done that too. But I wouldn't dream of like taking a picture of it and uploading it for hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people to see, because what if when my child grows up, this picture comes back to haunt them? Like, somehow other kids in school find this picture and like my kid gets bullied for it. I just feel like as parents, we need to first of all protect the privacy and human rights of our children before we overexpose them online to, you know, try and come across as relatable to other people or to grow our social media followings. Do you know what I mean? So tell me in the comments, guys, how does looking at other mum bloggers make you feel as a parent? Like, do you feel like you are related to and like you have a kind of a tribe around you, and that like it's nice to see what other mums get up to, gives you ideas like stuff you could do with your own kids, or like recipes, or it's just nice to see sometimes like other mums going through the same thing that you are going through. But on the flip side, it can also make you feel like inferior sometimes, or like you're not good enough, or you're not doing enough with your kids. Like, how does looking at mum bloggers make you guys feel? I want to know in the comments below. Tell me your thoughts. Don't forget, I will link all the products I'm wearing on my face in the comment section, in the description box down below. And on that note, I will see you guys in my next video, which is going to be your weekly dose of self-confidence. I love you guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.